double eliminate Djessir in a double elimination bracket. So although looking at that, you're gonna say like, oh, Heartbleat has to win 6 games, Djessir only has to pick up 3 along the way. You might think that it is a hugely in Djessir's favor, especially considering the pay of PR. But I mean, okay, sometimes I don't really pay attention to numbers. That's part of the reason why all the mistakes that I've made about memorizing PRs. I don't pay attention to numbers. It's the performance in the game that sometimes matters the most. And Heartbleat, although is suffering an early stock at the hands of Djessir, we know to never count Heartbleat out. And we could be seeing, I mean, Heartbleat reverse 3-0 Swada. There is always something in those sleeves that he could pull out. He's always got something.
Yeah, man, and I'm not gonna lie, chat. This is probably gonna be the last prediction of stream, so make sure you guys predict on who's gonna win this. But as we head into this game, Djessir has dominated everyone. Like you said, Djessir hasn't lost a set yet. Heartbleat has lost one, and that was down in pools against Sarme. That's how he got down into losers bracket. But we'll have to see if Djessir will be able to bring this back and, you know, end the run of Heartbleat. But we'll have to see. Djessir is doing a pretty good job right now. He has a stock lead, and he is doing a little bit of damage, but the D-Live recovery coming out from Heartbleat takes that stock off of Djessir. The stocks are even, 2 stocks to 2.
Djessir is not quite able to find many follow-ups off of these first few hits, not quite able to expand these combos into huge leads, so it's really just been kind of been the footsies. It's been the few spare hits he can pick up here and there that lets him get in the lead. Heartbleat slowly coming back from that. You know, progress is progress, slow and steady, but there's a limit to how slow you can go in a game like Brawlhalla, because now Djessir's got you on the wrong side of a ledge guard against lands. All it's going to take is an end light sending down the last stock, and a pretty damn good way to start game 1. Heartbleat has their work cut out for them. Gives up the ledge guard to try and pick up sword. Now has Djessir on the wrong side of a ledge guard.
What?
Djessir playing off stage very patiently. Heartbleat goes for what? The GC end light, and you have to wait from the crowd. I don't even know how to follow up after that. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Oh my goodness gracious. Heartbleat goes for the weirdest options, and they somehow sometimes work, but Djessir managing to move on past that, still surviving on his second stock, trying to go for the ground pound because that would have been a really insane play there. But Heartbleat still alive, red on his last stock, while he still needs to get the stock off of Djessir. But will he do it? I am not sure, man. I really am not sure. The D-Sig will do it, brings it down to last stock.
Heartbleat actually whiffed the attempt to try and push Djessir off stage and punish the landing because he had exclamation marks. So he had to touch back down. Heartbleat was trying to cover the space and I guess trap the ledge. But Djessir was going to find his way around that. Luckily, Heartbleat was not able to panic and is just picking up the pace and is immediately. This is slowly entering groovement. This is not just movement.
Dude,
Man is not just dancing. He is grooving on this stage. Dead, even game, and this blink and you'll miss it. Honestly, this is picking up.
This is just insane coming out from both of these players. Djessir, he had the lead for most of this game, but Heartbleat is bringing it back. The GCD sig, however, coming from Djessir, making sure that doesn't go in his favor. Incredible job coming out from Djessir, taking game 1 of that set. And Heartbleat actually had the damage, did more damage that game.
And also switching over to the Asuri is going to make a lot more sense. It was the times when Heartbleat was actually speeding up the game, giving Djessir no breathing room and pulling out surprise after surprise that let Heartbleat bring that game as close to even as it was and even out any damage lead. Djessir was able to build upon himself. So Heartbleat noticing that, saying like, okay, maybe I need something that is more rewarding of an aggressive playstyle. Maybe I need the textbook rush down character of Asuri, and we have seen these guitars chew through quite a stock. And we could be in for a treat heading on into game 2.
Yeah, man, these Qatars, like you said, have been going absolutely crazy. I mean, he beat the Asuri guy. He beat the Asuri guy of the tournament. He beat Jakey to make it over to here, but that wasn't on Asuri though. Either way, his Asuri has been showing to be a really, really good pick here. He has the Qatars in hand. He switched off the Koji. His bow was doing a slight bit of work, but maybe it wasn't what he thinks was going to be the pick to move on. Now, will he keep this? I'm not sure. From what I'm seeing right now, Djessir has a really good lead. The side air will be able to take that stock off of Heartbleat, but Heartbleat, we've seen it time and time again, has a good chance to make it back. Let's see though, Djessir also has been doing a really good job of like snowballing damage. Like as soon as he gets a stock lead, Djessir does an incredible job to make sure that whenever he loses his, Heartbleat is also pretty damaged. Like look at what he's doing now. He's already on orange. But that recovery will do it. Brings the stock even. He is on orange. That is pretty much half his stock that Djessir has the lead over, but will he manage to keep it? That is the question.
This game is so much better for Heartbleat because last game, in order for Heartbleat to bring it even, they needed these huge breakaway plays where he just stole stocks. He's still gonna pull those out of their pocket, but the difference between this game and last game is that they don't need them, absolutely desperately need them to pull ahead. It's just a little bit of extra credit. Heartbleat, some of these reads not quite coming through just as much as maybe some previous sets. D-Light can make Heartbleat try and scramble for lane space. They are able to find it. Sair into Sair, into Sair, triple Sair. Heartbleat takes it even.
Absolutely insane play coming out from Heartbleat there, bringing the game even 1-1. Wow. Incredible job coming out from Heartbleat. And that was a 2-stock too. That wasn't even that close. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
man.
this set evens itself out, we're going back to Small Brawl Haven.
We are going back to Small Brawl Haven. The question is, will Heartbleat be able to maintain the momentum that he has from last game, or will Djessir quickly turn it around and be ready for that kill?
Djessir picking up Lance very first thing in the match, but Heartbleat's able to find their way around, do some good unarmed damage, but Djessir's able to respond, even the game out. Djessir might be whipping a few more attacks. Heartbleat's able to get the punish, just rushes in for any sidelight that they can. As we do have Djessir coming back to stage. We do have Heartbleat's Qatars off stage though. Those could rack up a storm, but it ends up being Djessir's lands that put Heartbleat in a very difficult situation. Both these players playing a very, very risky game 3. Djessir could have a chance to close out this ledge. Guard a D-Sig will seal the fate. As Djessir's been very, very good with the accuracy. Both these players have been very, very good with the accuracy of the signatures. They don't throw them out too often, so you can kind of forget that they exist, but they only throw them out when you least expect it. And also when they know for a fact it's going to hit. They have not been whiffing too many signatures. They've really only been throwing out when you least expect it.
Ooh, nice D-Sig coming out from Djessir there to do a good amount of damage onto Heartbleat, and he just keeps landing these nairs and these D-Sigs and keeps adding on this damage, but Heartbleat retaliates with the D-Sig, bringing it down even. I've been seeing a repeating pattern these past couple of games where Djessir takes the first stock and does a good amount of damage onto Heartbleat on his second stock while he's on his first, but Heartbleat then manages to finally take that KO and bring the stocks even though the damage is not.
They're in a very good spot. Chancing a little bit, making him hard to predict. Heartbleat still always going to find his way in, but at what cost? Djessir is is able to pick up a send Heartbleat down to last stock, and that is a pretty tasty chunk of damage lead. Djessir, listen, it's always too early to call it. Don't say it till it's over, but I think is already starting to eye up and down that gold medal. It is starting to get a lot more close, but Heartbleat's going to put a bit more distance between him and that finish to try and say, like, nah, I'm going to give you a bit of a run for your money, as Djessir is starting to play a bit more patiently and is really only sometimes throwing these attacks when they know they're going to connect, or when they know they're going to cover the space that Heartbleat needs to find his way in. Ground pound would have been a fantastic way to seal that game up. Ensig gonna whiff, Heartbleat's able to punish and send Djessir off to the side. They're both just chasing after each other. Nair does not connect into the Ensig. Enlight does not connect into the recovery, as Heartbleat is able to exhaust the dodge and take Djessir down to last stock. And this is sometimes where we see Heartbleat perform the best. Djessir needs to try and find something to work. The game is not over. If anything, this is when it is most in Heartbleat's favor. Needs to try and slow down this barrage of attacks from Heartbleat. There we go. Shifting over to electrical would be very good way to kind of keep Heartbleat at bay, but not if Heartbleat's able to reverse it. Put you in that same difficult spot, but he's keeping their dodges very so they're not going to do much. But still, Heartbleat runs away with game 3.
What a reverse coming out from Heartbleat, taking that game over Djessir and bringing the set 2-1 in his favor. If he wins one more game, we're going to grand finals. Reset, ladies and gentlemen. Djessir needs to do something quick if he wants his tournament to finish fast.
Will Djessir might actually have to ban out Small Brawl Haven.
Honestly, that might be what's the problem here, but no, he still is sticking on to it and still doing what he can. He's still sticking on to Small Brawl Haven. That recovery, I don't think would have KO'd if it was on any other map, but since it is Small Brawl Haven with the small ceiling, it's been doing work. It's been doing a lot of work. It's been working a lot in his favor.
Yeah, Djessir's already being so smart with the placement of their attacks. Heartbleat also responding accordingly, but still the few unarmed attacks that Djessir was able to hit were placed beautifully. It was also respecting Heartbleat, knowing when to back off. And I'm going to say, like, okay, you're building yourself a bit of a lead, not going to give you... if I put myself in your threat range, you're just going to kind of throw me around a little bit more, so I'm going to put an end to that right now. It's really up for Djessir to answer back to Heartbleat. Even the times when Heartbleat's not in control of the game, there's a lot of pressure on Djessir to answer back. Nair, very well placed, going to give him space for the weapon. Djessir not quite going to connect, but Dare into weapon throw. The ground pound completely misses. Heartbleat almost didn't complete, almost didn't make it back. Djessir,
oh, you should have let him touch the ground.
Running out. Oh yeah, no, the touch. Djessir's jumps and recovery options are restored. Djessir's movement immediately picks up.
Oh, there we go.
But the momentum is put to a bit of a stop. We could be seeing a bit more movement coming out from Djessir. The movement during the last few moments of the previous stop. They're starting to look pretty good, and Heartbleat is calling Djessir out for less and less of these dodges. So if we are able to just give ourselves a little bit more time, we could be seeing Djessir take us to a game 5. But the stars have to align before we see that in cards. They're going to be a very good way to even out the game.
Incredible job coming out from Djessir, bringing that set even, or bringing the game even, 2 stocks to 2. But Heartbleat does have a little bit of the lead, and he's starting to extend it a little bit with the Katars in hand, but Djessir making sure it doesn't stay that way as he has the axe in hand. A very hard-hitting weapon that can do a good amount of damage at a very short amount of time, but at the same time, Katars can do the same thing. But Djessir is bringing this back relatively even. The side air makes it even a slight bit actually in Djessir's lead. The end light coming out, and now Heartbleat is just a little bit of damage away from making this even. The D-light recovery and this second stock could go in the favor of anyone here. The end light coming out from Heartbleat, and the GC D-light off the side of the stage. Very interesting option coming out from Djessir there. And the down air to seal the deal, bring him down to last stock, and Djessir, if he takes the stock, we are going to game 5 in grand finals.
Djessir able to find his way back with a few nairs to toss Heartbleat a bit of a way in end light. Djessir is playing this game so much better and also a little bit more carefully. We're starting to see him be a bit less ambitious, but not in a bad way, because sometimes that's what gets you to lose that second stock, fall down to last, let Heartbleat bring you on the brink of a reset. But still, Djessir also choosing to play a lot more Axe compared to Lance, and just kind of doing the same old bread and butter. 1, 2, left hook, right hook, and it is working so far as he's putting himself in these...
No!
Wait, what? Djessir
No!
What?
He SD'd. He was going for the gimp, and he messed up. He was going for the gimp, and he messed up. Oh no, we're going to game 5. It's just, that was an interesting way to go out. That was a very interesting way to go out.
¿Qué?
¿Qué? ¿Por qué? That was just weird.
That was probably a good bit of Ulgrim defense.
That was just weird.
Oh my god, Djessir is actually being very bold by still going back to Brawl Haven. Djessir probably knows that taking that game was just half of the width of a hair. He was the width of a hair away from losing that last game. And also, Heartbleat has had a lot of control over here on the classic Brawl Haven. So it's actually very bold for him to continue to keep on going on this map. But he knows something that we don't. Heartbleat also probably knows a few more things that nobody else knows, because it took him 20 seconds to get hit for the first time. Meanwhile, he was able to do twice as much damage. Djessir, sword versus axe, secondary versus secondary. Neither one of these players are taking as many risks as they were at the beginning of this set. Sidelight after sidelight, D-light after D-light. One of these players, the game is starting to look.
You know, we gotta stop considering Sword as Heartbleat's secondary, because he's been playing Koji, he's been playing the Asuri, and he's been on Sword, like, entire game. He's been going absolutely crazy, getting that D-light recovery off the top of the stage. The Sword has been going absolutely insane on Djessir. And keep in mind, chat, this is Game 5 Grand Finals. If Djessir wins this, tournament is over. Djessir is your Galaxy Cup Eclipse Europe 1v1 champion. If Heartbleat wins this, we're going into another set. We're going into Grand Finals reset.
Good spot to do it. And behind back. Every win that Djessir has gotten so far has been by the teeth. And is also ahead this game, although Djessir is actually chasing Heartbleat a bit off stage. The clash into Dare. Weapon throw not quite going to be enough. Djessir still able to touch the wall, but still against the sword. That is a bit of a difficult time back from. Djessir still refusing to go down to that last stock. Picks up Lance. Djessir's been a lot more comfortable in Axe compared to Lance, and is also starting to get some of his attempts. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really.
Oh my god. Heartbleat has such a massive lead against Djessir right now. And this is insane if he wants to bring this to make this an even playing ground for both of these fields. Like you mentioned at the start of Grand Finals, since Heartbleat's here from loser's side of the bracket, he'll have to win 2 sets in a row. And this is looking on its way to him winning his first.
Still just playing a bit more of a punish. Djessir actually choosing Lance. It was not an accident. I stand corrected. Djessir is able to get a few more hits, but still is not quite able to turn winning out neutral into these huge conversions like Heartbleat is, as we do have Djessir still coming back from Legend. So well all these time. That's how no one can really truly keep them cornered.
Ooh, what a dodge!
Do that, what? That would have been stocks. Certainly, Heartbleat's timing their dodges so well.
No!
But Djessir doesn't even need the dodge for Heartbleat to whiff that ground pound. Now they're both back on stage. Heartbleat's probably...
That's a 2-stock. That's a 2-stock going into Grand Finals reset. That is insane. just insane. We're going into Grand Finals reset, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The set is even. The playing ground is even. Both of these players have lost a set, which means whoever wins this next set is the winner of the tournament.
And Djessir taking a pause. One last deep breath. They know what they're getting themselves into. They know that they have to turn this around. They need something new. Taking our time, banning out the map, trying to think very, very carefully about this. Djessir might be rethinking Brawlhaven, or we could be going right back again. So far, they're banning out all the same maps they usually have. This time, a bit more slower. Although Djessir did ban out Eclipse here when they did not do so previously, leaving, I'm pretty sure, either Miami Dome or Enigma on the board. Leaves Brawlhaven. Heartbleat is taking us back to Brawlhaven. Same as the first, whole lot louder and a whole lot. Let's see how this goes.
I'm excited. Are you excited, Graffiti? I'm so excited. This set has just been going absolutely insane. So many, you couldn't tell the entire set whose way it was going towards. And then that last game came by and Heartbleat is just going absolutely crazy. We're going into Grand Finals reset. And now, like I said, the playing ground is even. The guitars in hand, Heartbleat has been going absolutely insane. He remains on the side of the stage, but Djessir with the edge guard, with the NSIG. You could tell Heartbleat turned around for a second to make sure that he doesn't get hit by the weapon throw. But Djessir doesn't even matter. As soon as Heartbleat came back, hits him with the GC D-Light ground pound to land back onto the stage. Djessir with his axe in hand. I think that's another thing that we should stop, because Djessir's axe has also been going really good today.
And it's been very, very good at kind of area denial.
Wow.
Though Heartbleat able to interrupt that combo, steal that stock away. A minute in, stock's even, although Djessir with a small damage lead. So hey, kudos. But yeah, Djessir's axe has actually been very, very good at denying certain lanes. Heartbleat has sometimes had to take a second pause and hesitate. Like, okay, can I really come back from this ledge guard? Can I really find landing space when I'm above Djessir? Can I really approach at this angle at this time? So Djessir using all the attacks in the kit to make it very, very hard to find his way into the axe. But this lands. I think he's trying to act as a bit more of a moving wall than anything, because Heartbleat now is finding less and less of these hits. He's starting to make less and less of these huge conversions. And now Djessir is starting to slowly reign back in control of the game. Heartbleat is able to go to very punish D-Light Sarah, push him to the side of the stage. D-Light recovery not gonna be enough. Djessir now with axe, like we said earlier, very, very good at denying a lane and could be denying the second stock from Heartbleat. Times that D-Light perfectly, but Heartbleat replies with a very, very good D-Light of their own. Heartbleat still on sword. I'm getting lightheaded.
Man, Heartbleat, you are just going absolutely crazy, and I'm super excited to see how the set is going to go. The sword in hand, taking him across the stage, going for the recovery, and still adding on the damage. Oh, he tried to go for the ground pound, but he didn't have any jumps left, or he messed up the endpoint. He is one hit away. Djessir, an N-Light will do it, and he does it. And he brings us down to last stock even. Who is going to be taking game one of this set?
Now looking at the damage lead, you might want to say Heartbleat, but I'm also very tempted to say Djessir, because Djessir's movement's starting to pick up. Djessir is starting to lock in, but Heartbleat locks him out of the house. The moment that anything starts to go right for Djessir, Heartbleat just steals it all away. What a little thief. Djessir needs to, I know I've said this so many times, but Djessir just needs to find the space to lock in, because there are shining little moments where things look so promising. Times where their movement is damn near perfect. Times where their accuracy, just especially during that last time we saw them, are so good, and they just do not whiff. Djessir is able to make the dots connect. He definitely has it in there somewhere in the bag. He just needs to find the moment where all these stars align. And I think Heartbleat is just waiting until the moment Djessir is ready for the pop-off just to kind of immediately cancel that out. And Djessir has to wait for the cooldown. And, you know, kind of like an ultimate in another game, like an ultimate attack. I think Heartbleat is really just stopping the ultimate, and Djessir has to wait for the cooldown, wait for the stars to align again. He needs to try and force more of these situations that he knows that he can win, because there are still times Djessir is doing so well. It's just Heartbleat is stealing the spotlight every second chance that they get.
Heartbleat. We said it time and time again, Heartbleat, you're getting our hearts beating. Like, I can see chat popping off because they see Heartbleat going absolutely crazy. But you cannot sleep on Djessir here. Djessir has the stock lead. He had the lance, threw the lance away, picking up the axe, going for 2 D-lights to try and kill off the top of the stage. You know, we picked Small Brawl Haven. That's one thing he can excel in. The D-lights will kill earlier than usual, because we're on a stage with smaller maps. Good dodge coming out from Heartbleat. He knew that D-Sig was coming from a mile away. But Djessir still with the lead, and he's sweat beating, and he cannot make that back. Djessir takes the first stock of the game.
Djessir, there we go. Stepping up the aerial denial, making it very hard for Heartbleat to find that sword, knowing like, okay, Heartbleat's probably gonna turn the blender up. They grab swords. I have to prevent that. Heartbleat weapon starving Djessir saying, hey, you prevented me from getting my sword. I'm going to see how it looks on you. As Djessir is making this first stock last a very nice. So over a minute and a half in, that's not just Ulgrim defense. That's Djessir's movement kind of starting to lock in and find its spot. Djessir lasting on the first stock a very impressive amount of time. Heartbleat now at a damage disadvantage, but sometimes that is when the game looks... Heartbleat's a very weird player. The game is in their favor when the game's state is not in their favor. They play best when they're losing. They are the Brawlhaven's most interesting Asuri.
He is the clutch factor. That is Heartbleat. Because there have been so many times this entire tournament, Heartbleat's down, like you said, and then immediately turns up, goes absolutely crazy, and starts bringing this completely even. The recovery coming out from Heartbleat to try and bring this game in his lead. He is a slight bit in the lead after seeing how Djessir was in the lead first stock. Now, as we head later into the game, Heartbleat now remains in the lead. Is Heartbleat gonna win a Galaxy Cup? Is that what I'm seeing? Is Heartbleat going to go absolutely crazy? Win a Galaxy! Whoa!
Ooh.
Wow. I said at the start of this, like, top 4, if you told me Djessir was in grand finals and has a chance of winning a Galaxy Cup, I would be surprised. I'd be even more surprised if it was Heartbleat. What is going on? What is going on?
Djessir's on tournament game for the rest of the evening.
This could possibly be the last game of the tournament right here, right now. This could possibly be, and you know who's in the lead? Heartbleat.
It's not Austin, I'm speechless. Heartbleat just stepping it up.
Djessir,
and
if you don't
improving.
ban Small Brawl Haven now, I don't know what you're doing.
Please. This could be life or death. Banning out the normal maps.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Willing to oblige.
What?
Oh no, Djessir.
And we're going to Small Brawl Haven
The level
for
100
game 3
Ulgrim.
of Grand Finals reset.
This level 100 Ulgrim has one last chance. Although, you never know if Djessir could have that exact same Heartbleat factor. where it's only when their back is against the wall that they play the best. Maybe Djessir only could win if they need that reverse 3-0 to kind of light a fire under their chair, saying like, hey, this is a dire, very, very crucial part of the game, of the tournament.
And you know what's even crazier about all of this?
Heartbleat.
You saw Heartbleat's Djessir level, right?
13. It's probably
13. Level 13. He is on level 13 with the Djessir. I mean, to be fair, he's not like throwing out SIGs like it's candy, you know? He's not like absolutely throwing out SIGs. I think it's because he knows the weapons to like death. So.
But the signature placement's also been pretty good. Oh!
Oh my goodness, that was the riskiest play I have ever seen.
From both
9 times out of 10, you would have been hit by that axe recovery going straight down. But no, you hit the perfect opportunity to hit that recovery and make it back up. And Heartbleat has a lead in the set 2-0 in his favor. So this could possibly be the last game of stream. Heartbleat with the sword in hand is trying to do a little bit more damage, snowpiling this damage onto Djessir, making sure Djessir doesn't take his stock before being dealt a bunch of damage. But Heartbleat going for the side sig. That was probably the one not great sig placement that Heartbleat has had with the Djessir.
That was a bit of a gamble.
Djessir's mental must be going absolutely. I'm reading chat. I should stop. Either way, Heartbleat with his lead. The D-Light recovery, trying to go for the nair. He knows that this has just been going absolutely crazy. What a dodge! Djessir's on tournament stock.
Money stock.
The last tournament stock of the stream.
The most expensive stock of
the most expensive stock of the tournament right here. If Djessir loses this, Heartbleat is your Galaxy Cup champion. Can Djessir make this back? We'll have to see. You'll have to turn up completely. You'll have to go absolutely.
The dare! Wait for the chase dodge! How? And like he's still going, still keeping on the pressure. Heartbleat always able to just turn the pressure on, even when it is most likely. Djessir being very, very smart to not over aggress, and now has his last chance. This is it. It is do or die on the 8th small Brawlhaven game in a row. Djessir still playing the axe pretty well. Not that much Lance, although the Lance has been very good for KOs. Djessir has Heartbleat's movement read down to a T. But still, these ledge guards, they can be very back and forth.
Okay.
Djessir reverts it back into being in his favorite weapon. One of these players could have a
Okay.
chance to maybe grab the other weapon. Heartbleat, Djessir's that arm doesn't really know what to do, but the axe, the guitar. I can't watch.
Trying to go for the recovery. That unarmed recovery will do it. Heartbleat is your Galaxy Cup Eclipse EU 1v1 champion. What? What? No shot. Just no shot.
I'm not even like playing it up for the stream. I'm genuinely speechless. I'm trying to find some